Sorry, that was me.
All right. Just as a reminder, if you have haste here, now's a good time to throw it on. It is absolutely not required, so if you don't have it, don't stress it. But it makes you do things faster, and faster is good. All right. So hello, hi, welcome to Fresh Prog. Again, like I said, my name's Rare. I'll be your host tonight, doing calls and all that good stuff. Couple quick housekeeping things. Number one, please do not touch the glowy pads until your party lead tells you that you're good to do so. So please do not touch those glowy pads down. Resist the innate gamer urge to touch the shiny thing. It's difficult, I know, but I trust you. I believe in you. So go straight to the cache. Pull out your pre-loadout, in which you'll apply an essence. Again, just as a reminder, you do not need to use a re-raiser, and you do not need to use a pure essence on this particular pull, just at this very start, because it is the first pull, and people are probably going to goof, and we're probably going to die, which is fine. But just use an essence of some type, and then, you don't necessarily need to use re-raiser. You can if you want to, but you really don't have to. So, but other than that, once you have your post loadout filled, your pockets are all good to go. Your party lead will double check that everyone has used an essence and has actions of some type available and ready to go. And then they will let you know that you are good to jump down. So just as a general reminder, Alpha, Bravo, and Charlie, ABC, will go west, left towards Slimes. Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, DEF will go east towards Golems. So with that said, Party A is almost ready. Just need one person to pop an essence, and then we'll get into it. So, if you have any questions, by the way, about literally anything on this run, as long as it pertains to the run itself, feel free to ask. If you're too embarrassed to ask over Discord, which is totally understandable, you can ask over text chat. You can ask in shout chat. You can DM me directly on Discord. It's all perfectly fine. You can ask in the chat on Discord itself, whatever is preferable. But there's no such thing as a dumb question on my run, especially on Fresh Prog. Okay, Party A, you guys are good to jump down to Slimes whenever you feel fit to do so. Everyone's all set and ready to go. So. Do you want to? Okay. Then...
I mean, I will if no one else will.
You don't. No. You don't have to. I assumed you'd want to, but you don't have to. Let's see. If I did, it was purely passively. It wasn't intentionally.
Okay,
But I mean, Pash could do it. Opalt could do it. Let's see. Imagine Cabber could probably do it. We really asked them to, but probably just Pash or Paul, if one of those two wouldn't mind taking point on Golem explanations. That would be lovely.
Okay, do you want us to drop on a voice chat? Or...
Yeah, sorry, I forgot to mention that. So Delta, Echo, Foxtrot, DEF, whenever you guys are ready, you've jumped down and like you're over by the golems hanging out, you will jump down to voice chat B, and that's where Opalt will be teaching you all how golems works. And again, Party A, whenever you're ready, you guys can jump on down to Slime Side, which is the west one. Your party lead should be letting you know in chat when you guys are all set. If they're not, just let me know and I can give them a poke. Biggest thing I'm going to tell you right now, just while you're all here, don't stress if you make a mistake. It's really not a big deal. We're here to have fun. This is Fresh Prog, very low stakes. It's all good. Not that big of a problem if you make a goof. We're here to teach people how to do this content because we think this content is fun. So, simple as that. All right, with that said, I'm going to jump down and get markers up for Slime Side so that way I can start the Slime Slide explanations. So Slime Side gamers, hi, hello. I see 24 names, which makes me confident everyone's here that needs...
Tank on each golem. So we have Sari on this golem, MBO on this golem, Elston, and Space Sheep. Can I have one tank in the north? And can I have one tank in the south, please? We should have 2 tanks left.
I have experience kiting. If we need someone to do that.
No, we have tanks on each golems. We just need hallway tanks in the north and south. So can you be my south hallway tank, please? Just come be the south hallway tank where I'm jumping right now. Yep. Okay, perfect. Can I get a healer on each of the, on both of the blue tanks as well as with Elf and White? I need, a healer with Sari. I'll do it. And then I see I already have a fizz range with Sheep. That's perfect. Okay. That's all the organization for golems done. Welcome to the golems side. As a note on golems, you should not use any lost actions, except for perception if you have it slotted. While you were doing this encounter, it will not be necessary, it will not be needed. I do my golems, set up a little differently. Specifically I do it this way because this way, if you just look towards the golems like this, the red and the blue line up, and the white and the green line up. But welcome to golem. Space, Sheep, you are on the red golem. You have a fizz ranged on top of you. You'll be the red golem tank. Okay, welcome to golems. Golems is the trash encounter that you'll be fighting in parties C and F. Your basic goal is to kill each of the golems on the pad where they are the same color as the pad. There's a blue room, a white room, a green room, and a red room. You may be wondering, how do we get a white golem and a red golem? That is because these golems have a cast called Metamorphose. When they cast Metamorphose, they will change colors from blue to white, from white to
You cut out.
I think we lost them.
Yeah. Just all audio issues.
The quality was dropping. I think their internet went out.
Okay, I'm back. Hello.
Welcome back.
Okay, so as I was saying, they change colors when they cast Metamorphose from blue to white, from white to green, from green to red, and from red to blue. Our goal is to make 2 of these golems change colors and keep the other 2 the same. We can cancel these casts by using our interrupt, that is interject for tanks and fizz ranged. Each of the golems is a little bit different. When they're blue, they're going to do a bleed tank buster. This is an AoE that needs to be kept away from everyone except the main tank. This will leave a bleed on whoever it's cast on. This bleed needs to be SNA'd or the tank will die. If you're a healer on one of the 2 blue golems, please be ready to SNA your tank. The white golem is special in that it is a DPS check. You need to hold your longer burst actions, whether they're 60 seconds or 1 minute cooldown. Sorry, 60 seconds or 2 minute cooldowns, until it starts casting the compaction cast when it hits 30% HP. That's when you're going to use your actions to kill it. You will not be using lost actions, only your job actions. But please save your burst actions for when it is low HP. The green golem will absorb any of the hallway golems that spawn at the north and south hallway. If they get near to them. This is why we have hallway tanks in the hallways. They're going to attack the golems and tether them. But then that is fairly normal. Lastly, we have the red golem. This golem, after it transforms, will tether to the first person who attacks it. We want this to be a tank who attacks it. As every attack that it does is a tank buster. The tank who gets the red golem is going to need to kite it around the room, making sure they do not get attacked. And the party will whittle it down while it's doing that. While we're killing the red golem, I ask that you don't use any damage over time abilities, whether you're a healer, caster, fizz ranged, or melee DPS. As it makes killing the red golem on the red pad much more unreliable. Once it gets to low HP, about 30 to 20%, I'm going to ask you to hold damage, and then our tank is going to enroll and pull it onto the pad. As for which golems go to which rooms, MBO Harvey is going to be the blue tank. They're going to be going to the blue room. Siri Ak is going to be the white tank. They're going to pick up this blue golem that they're standing on and take it to the white room. Next up, Elson Weiss is going to be the green tank. They're going to take theirs to the green room. And finally, Space Sheep is going to be my red tank, taking it to the red room. Can I please get a Fizz range to come stand with Space Sheep as the one that was there left? Thank you, Tigro. Elio, you can go back. Tigro, you have a very important job. This red golem will continue, once it turns red, it will continue casting Metamorphose every about 30 seconds. However, the main tank will have a very hard time interrupting it themselves without getting attacked. To make sure they don't have to attack it, or they don't have to risk being attacked, we're going to have a Fizz ranged interrupt every time it casts Metamorphose. However, one very important thing is to make sure not to attack it until it is tethered to Space Sheep. Until it turns red and is tethered to Space Sheep, please make sure you do not even target the red golem. Once it's tethered and it's being walked around like a dog on a leash, you can target it, start building your gauge, and interrupt every cast of Metamorphose. Finally, our hallway tanks, that is Kate and Caber. You will be in the north and south hallways, picking up the golems that spawn in the north or south. While it is important to kill them, your number one priority is attacking them first. Attack them as soon as they spawn, so that they don't walk into the rooms and they tether to you. If you do not have a special role, you are in what is called the murder ball. You will be going from room to room, from blue to white to green to red, killing the golems in order. Your job is very simple, just kill the golems and make sure you don't walk into traps. One last thing about this is that there are traps potentially in each of the rooms. There's one in the middle hallway, somewhere around where the floor marker is, that will need to be percepted, as well as each room having a chance to have them. There's a trap in the white room, in the middle of the hallway, and in one of the north rooms. Unless you're going to the blue room, please be sure that you do not walk ahead of your preceptor. Do not walk into a room until the trap is percepted. With that said, do I have any questions? In just a second, I'm going to ask party leaders to run ready checks. Do not run them yet. If you have a question, please say no to the ready check and ask it. This is not necessarily a ready check, it is an understanding check. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask them. There are no bad questions. Our preceptor is Caber Lionheart, our north tank. So please make sure to stay behind them, wait for your trap to be percepted before you go into rooms. Okay, party leaders, go ahead and run ready checks. This is an understanding check. If you have questions, ask them. If your party is ready, please put it in yell chat. Middle white north, perfect, thank you. Parties E and F, let me know when you're ready. If someone has any questions, please ask them. If someone asks in party chat, please relay them to me. So you need to equip a lost font of skill. One important thing about DRS I should mention is that this has a 10-minute AFK timer. If you're alt-tabbed click out of the game for 10 minutes, you will be kicked from the instance. There will be no way to come back in. You will not be able to rejoin. Please make sure you wiggle around once every about 5 minutes to make sure you don't get AFK kicked. If you plan to get up for an extended period of time when we're taking a break, please wiggle around first. I see F is ready, D is ready. How is party E doing? Do you have any questions? E is ready, perfect. I'm gonna go ahead and say Golems is ready. Now, with that said, keep in mind that we may fail. This may not be done correctly the first time, and that is perfectly okay. Golems and slimes are the most finicky part of the instance, and reclears will often spend the most time on them compared to the rest of the instance. In addition, slime side is likely to wipe a little bit more than us, as on golem side, mistakes can be a little more fixable, like if there's a missed interrupt, something like that, we can easily fix that. Versus on slime side, if something goes wrong, it's probably a reset. So please, please, please make sure that you're paying attention, but also be ready to re-instance if we wipe. And don't be put down by it. Golems are also generally seen as the easier side, so you guys kind of got lucky if that's what you were looking for. Yeah, go ahead and wiggle around, and now's also a good time to make sure if you're a tank, please turn on your tank stances. These stances got turned off when we enter the instance, and will be turned off every time we get into the instance. Please make sure your tank stances are on. In addition, summoners should summon their carbuncles. Dancers, please set your dance partners, all of that. We shouldn't need fizz range kiting. Also, you don't have an excellent, so I'd really prefer you not. So, yeah, there is technically less on slimes, but it's just a lot more finicky, and you have to go over like every single thing because if something goes like a little wrong, it's kind of over. As a reminder, we will not be using lost actions except for lost perception. You probably won't need them. If there might be a chance, that we do have to need them, but please assume that you will not be using them until they're called for. Go and wiggle around. It's also a good idea to eat raid food. When preparing, you might have bought some high-level raid food. Go and eat that, as it'll give you some extra stats, including some extra damage and vitality. That might just save your life, or make us skip mechanics. The less mechanics we see, the easier the encounter is, as usually the harder mechanics are later in the fight. But if you have any questions about TRS, like, in general, go ahead and ask them since we have free time. I can probably hopefully answer them. Any comments, questions, or concerns? If it's your first time, don't worry. This is the one with a lot of vets on it. Oh, we're ready. Okay. Tanks, please tab back in. Make sure your stances are on. Be ready to pick up your golems and go to your rooms. I'm going to be opening the door right as the timer counts down. As a reminder, there are traps in the white room, the middle of the hallway, and in one of the north rooms. So please make sure not to go through to your room until the preceptor has found traps. Everyone can go ahead and run into the blue room if you're not taking a golem at the start. Okay, tanks, get ready to pick up your golems. Tanks, pick up your golems, stay behind your preceptor. Everyone else can go into the blue room. Trap is still north. Go into the blue room and kill the blue golem on the pad. There's gonna be a bleed buster on the tanks in just a second, so please be ready to ascend of them. That's now your tanks. And get ready for hallway golems to spawn. In just a moment, there's gonna need to be an interrupt on the green. Interrupt the green and nothing else. Red room got interrupted, that's fine. Please don't interrupt the red room golem. Blue is dead, go and go to the white room and kill the white golem. Remember to hold your long cooldowns until after it starts casting compaction. Make sure to avoid the explosive trap as it will just kill you. Remember on this next interrupt, only interrupt in the green room. Red room can go ahead and cast. Interrupt in the white room, and burn your actions, burn your damage, burn down the white golem. Very nice. Go and head to the green room. On your way there, you might consider helping with the ruin golems. Go and walk into the green room and kill the green golem. Once this goes down, we're gonna wait to kill the red golem until slime cycles commit or wipe. Interrupt Metamorphose in all rooms. Interrupt Metamorphose in all rooms. Go ahead and go to the hallways. Kill the hallway golems. Kill the hallway golems now. We're gonna wait until the flame cycles commit or wipe. Can I have a fizz range please sit in the bedroom and interrupt this? Please hold off on attacking the red golem until they call commit. Slime's ready. Okay, go ahead, go into the red room. We're gonna start killing the red golem. Remember not to use any damage over time abilities. Go and invuln it and kill it. Healers, please keep Space Sheep alive. Interrupt Metamorphose. And kill the red golem. Think about what meter you will need for Trinity Seeker. You want to have as many resources as possible to deal as much damage as possible. Go into the hallway golems, build your gauges, and get ready to sleep or stun any casts of Demolish. If you see Demolish cast, please use a sleep or stun, and think about building your gauges. Very nice job. Make sure to avoid the explosive traps. Avoid the explosive traps. Go to the glowing pad on this bridge and jump up one voice channel to D2 voice chat A. Very good job everyone on golems.
Also, to that person who tried to save me, whatever tank that was, I just want you to know, I appreciate you. I saw it. I saw the attempt, but it's permanent aggro. So, regrettably, you cannot save me. But there was an attempt, and I appreciate it. Alright, FYI, this loot at the bottom of these stairs, that is your loot. It's personal loot. Don't forget your loot. You earned that. That's yours. It's something too crazy, just a couple fragments, but you earned it, so. Okay, so I have great news and some not great news. The great news is we got here on first try. Yay! The bad news is we got here on first try, and most people probably are not using pure essences, so they're gonna die. Less than ideal, but that's fine. You can just blame me for it, which is really funny, so. Okay, we can still talk through Trinity Seeker. We can actually see a fair amount of the mechanics of Trinity Seeker, which is good. So obviously we will do that so people can get experience. There's my markers. It's just hard mode. Hey, fair enough. Rare Eternal Pessimist, that is not true in any capacity whatsoever. Okay. Awesome, we're here faster than I thought we were going to be. Sometimes it takes people a couple of polls to get through. Excuse me, barracks, but you guys are just on your shit. So well played to literally everyone here. Okay, I'm going to talk through the mechanics of Trinity Seeker. Whilst I am doing that, just as a friendly reminder, you're going to want to do a wiggle check just every couple minutes, just so you don't get AFK. You don't have to do it constantly or anything, but just, you know, every now and then. But okay, let's talk through Trinity Seeker. So a couple things. If you've never been here before, and obviously a fair amount of you haven't, you've been through Delubrum Normal, so you have a general idea of how some of these mechanics are going to work. But the thing I'm going to tell you right now is this is way faster Not even remotely the same time that normal is. It is much, 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 much faster. So when you basically see the sword AoEs, which I'll talk about in just a second, on the ground, that's already snapshotted. Like, you could run straight into it and it will not hit you at that point because that's how fast it is. So just point of reference, Trinity Seeker is very hard for some people just because it is, in my humble opinion, the fastest fight in here. And it just kind of goes back to back to back to back with various mechanics. So don't stress it if you die, especially on this pull, because this pull does not fucking matter because people don't necessarily have pure essences, so it's fine. But okay, let me go ahead and get through these explanations while I pet a cat, because someone paid me $1 towards the children's fund to pet a cat. So I'm going to pet my cat with my left arm and tuck through my notes with my right arm. So, okay, Trinity Seeker. Starts out with the raid wide. These raid wides do hit pretty hard. They'll not necessarily one-hit KO, but, like, you know, feel free to mitigate them. On other runs, we don't worry about mitigating them, but because this is fresh prog, it's fine. So feel free to mitigate. And then we're going to do the first mechanic I was talking about, which is Fourfold Mercy. Fourfold Mercy is when Trinity Seeker does half-room cleaves with their swords. There are 4 of them. These will always result in safe spots for us to stand in, and depending upon the configuration of the swords, I will either tell you to move once or move twice. So some examples might be, these are all true north, and I'm calling the safe places to stand, just for reference. So like left, left, right, right, north, north, south, south would be, you know, those are easy, right? Because if the safe is north, north, then you stay up north for 2 hits, then you move south, the other 2, so it's only 1 movement. But there could also be some patterns where you have to move twice. So it could be, for example, left, right, right, left, or, you know, south, north, north, south. I will always try to call it in such a way that the maximum number of movements you have to make is 2 movements. Ideally, if the pattern allows me to do so, I'll do it, you know, through 1, but it just depends. So, but that's the one mechanic that is very fast. So if you get caught by it in this poll, don't worry about it. Now you'll know for next time, but it is very, very fast. So basically, like, for example, if it's left, left, right, right, right? Well, okay, that was good. If it's left, left, right, right, as an example, I'll use good English. After the second left cleave is on the ground, it's already safe to run in, because it's not going to hit you. It's already snapshotted. That's how fast it is. So, okay. So that's Fourfold Mercy. We'll see that a couple times throughout the fight. Next up is Seasons of Mercy. Seasons of Mercy is the ice lattice pattern, like a pie top, where you just, you know, stand in between them on the safe spot. There's going to be an orb on either 1, 2, 3, or 4. You're going to want to look away from the orb, because the orb is a petrification orb. So I'll say, for example, you know, Seasons is starting, orb is on 1, look away from orb. And then after that is the ice shifts over 1 block, so you just move into a new safe spot with the ice. And likewise, opposite of the orb is a flower. So if the orb is on 1, the flower would be on 3, as an example. And the flower expands to explode. If you want a reference point of how big it is, it's about the size of that asylum, a little bigger. So, you know, if it's on 3, 2, and 4 would not be safe, just as an example. But basically, I'm just going to say, you know, Seasons of Mercy, look away from the orb, orb's on 1, run away from the flower. So you just do ice, orb, ice, flower. That's Seasons of Mercy. That'll always be true every time we do Seasons of Mercy. One exception, but we'll talk about it. After that's just a basic raid wide and basic tank buster. Nothing scary, nothing new. Then there's a skill called Verdant Path. I'm not going to go into the specific details of it, but basically I'm just going to tell you to stand somewhere. So for example, on this one, I'm going to say the sides are not safe, get in the boss's hitbox or be on the boss's butt. For a second one, I might say, you know, like stack on 3 or stack on our off tank, just as some examples. And then the trickiest one is going to be get intercardinal of the boss. Now, ideally, if possible, the boss will always be facing north, in which case the intercardinals are the number markers 1, 2, 3, and 4, and those are safe to use. If the boss is for some reason not facing true north, I will say that, but then you need to do intercardinals of the boss relative. Please just bear that in mind. Again, ideally the boss is facing north. Most of the time it's facing north. But on hilariously high DPS runs, or just if things get scuffed, because we're all human and it happens, sometimes you just got to watch out for it. So, and yeah, do a little wiggle. I'm almost done talking, I swear. Thank you for being patient as I talk through this stuff. After that, we have a stack tank buster and a solo tank buster. The only really important one there is the solo tank buster. Please, for the love of God, don't be standing next to the tank, because you'll instantly kill them. It is really funny, but it's also not good. So please don't murderize our main tank by standing on top of them during a solo tank buster. Ideally, if you're not doing something specific, you're always just standing on the boss's butt, just to make it nice and simple. as with most encounters. After that is chains. You've all been to, I always forget what this cathedral is called. The one where Farchino just gets blasted, and we pour one out for our boy because he gets deleted by that spear of light. The vault. That's it. I always forget what the vault's called. Anyway, Filthy Rats. You know that guy. And yeah, I said the wrong elf too. I'm terrible. I know. I'm all over the place today. Anyway, Filthy Rats. That guy. Sickness will be purged. Yeah, that guy. Remember those chains where you want to be closer to your friends and then you run away from your friends to break those chains? It's that mechanic. So we're all going to stack up on top of each other, then we're going to run away from each other to break those chains. That's how chains will always work. So whenever I call chains, just try to group up as best you can. It's fine if you're not perfectly stacked, but just do your best. Okay, after that, I'm just going to tell you to get in front of or behind a platform. If you're wondering what the platforms are, those are the things that are on the outside of the arena by 1, 2, 3, and 4 on the intercardinals. So again, I'll say get in front of or behind a platform. So in front is implying you get knocked into it. Behind is if you're hiding from the boss. That's just dependent on what the boss is doing. For example, if their swords are glowy, then you want to be in front of a platform. If their swords are not glowy, you want to hide behind a platform. Just FYI. You don't need to know that. I need to know that, but I'm just letting you know. Okay, that's pretty much it for mechanics. The only other thing we need to talk through real quick is earthen rings and earth shakers. So this is pretty much the last major. So earthen rings is a conal AoE centered from the center of the arena, tethered onto a player. And what it does is it gives you a earth resistance down if it hits you, so you can get hit by one of them, but if you get hit by 2 of them, you're going to die. So how we do this is, for example, let's say the boss is on 2, the entire party is going to stack on 2, and then you're going to jump up and down, wiggle around, and see if you have a tether above your head, and it's like there's an orb above your head too. If you have that tether and orb, I just need you to fuck off to Kansas. Just go literally anywhere else but 2. I don't care where it is as long as it's not on 2. There's only going to be a couple of you, and if you stack on top of each other, you will kill each other, but I'd much rather have 2 people die than 46 people die. So just go away, he said politely. The other thing with this while that's happening is I'll be telling you to stand on either white sand or green brick. Those are safe because the other one will be not safe. So just FYI, while that's happening, I might say, for example, boss is on 2, get on white sand, tethers go away. Earthshaker's out is what I'm actually going to end up saying, most likely. But that's how that works. So simply put, if you get an Earthshaker, just don't be by the rest of the raid. Just please go away. That's pretty much it. So believe it or not, that's actually all the mechanics of Trinity Seeker. We'll see a couple of them, obviously, as people die here, but that's fine. The latter half of the fight is like, how in Super Mario they teach you how to jump over a platform, and then they teach you how to jump over a platform and jump on a Koopa like midair. It's basically that. He's just combining, they are just combining their mechanics together to make them slightly more complicated, but we're going to do multiple things in a row, one way or the other. But that's pretty much it. So, all right. And I'm glad this isn't a cursed run because my vocabulary is quickly getting less and less available. For those curious, I'm no longer allowed to say the word stack on the meme runs now. So that's just great. But anyway, if you're good to go, move past the purple line. If you have any questions on what the hell it is we're doing or how this boss fight works, feel free to ask right now. That's okay. But if you're good to go, just move past the purple line for me. Yell assemble. Hell yeah. Oh, also, yes. Do I have a main tank volunteer? Yes. Sorry, I should have asked for that. Soraya wants it? Okay. You got it, Soraya. Do I have an off-tank volunteer? I can have 1 or 2 of them, so. I respect the scholar, Opal, who is asking, but you want it? You got it. I'll give a full 30-second countdown, so you're good. No worries there. Oh, yes. Also, so everyone can have shell at this point. Healers who brought shell, feel free to give shell to everyone. Only tanks need protect. Just fun FYI, if you're not a tank and you're worried about buff culling, which is a perfectly reasonable thing to be worried about, you do not need protect. That's the blue one. Only tanks need protect. So if you need shell, if you could just do me a favor and walk back behind the purple line real quick, we can hook you up because I know there's one healer who just forgot to bring it. It's all good. No shame. Not a big deal. So other healers, if you could just hook up the people who are behind this purple line with shell real quick, we can get it. So, and yes, if you're not Soraya, please turn off the tank stance. Otherwise, this will be really funny and very short. So if you're not Soraya the main tank, please turn off your tank stance. All right, looks like everyone's good to go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and start a full countdown here. Take your time, take a deep breath. Like I said, this poll literally doesn't matter. We're going to die. I'm just gonna tell you that right now. It's not a big deal. We do not have pure essences. People are just going to die. It's not a big deal. So just focus on learning the mechanics here. Have fun. It's a low stress, low stakes. Okay, if you do kill him out of spite, prove me wrong. I'm all for everyone here proving me wrong. Go off, kings and queens. So make sure to use your DPS actions here, your dervishes, your cure fours, etc. That's what this is for. Those are all good buff actions. So other than that, here we go. Training Seeker will start with a raid wide. Again, if you're not the main tank, just be on the boss's butt. It's going to make your life much easier for the other mechanics coming up. Next up is Fourfold Mercy. I'll be calling it the safe positions, true north. Safe positions, true north. Here we go. 2 movements. So it would be north, north, south, south, north. North, south, south, north. Go. Get ready. Go again. Go away from the orb on 3. Resolve the ice pattern. Run away from the flower. If you die, don't worry about it. It's all good. Feel free to use Re-Razor if you want to. On the boss. Sides are not safe. Skipped because you all are doing great damage. That's a good thing. Stacked Tank Buster is next. So off tank, please move up. Other tanks can move up if you want to. That's fine. Now, no one be main tank. This is a solo Tank Buster. Solo tank. Chains is going to be next, so just stay grouped for me. Chains does not actually start until after the debuff has resolved, so if you see it above your head, we're going to get in front of a platform after break chains. Break chains first, then get in front of a platform. Break your chains now, get in front of a platform. Knocked into a platform. Back on the boss. Just chill on the boss's butt. I'm going to tell you where we're going to go, but the edge of the arena is not safe. Go to Bravo for me. We're going to go counterclockwise. We're going to stand in front of 2 now. Stand in front of 2. Front of the 2 platform. Front of the 2 platform. Good job. Back on the boss. Raid Wide's going to come out shortly. Heal on up, mitigate, etc. Stack on our off tank. The off tank marker, just stack there and hang out. It's the boss's butt. Just chill there for a second. Good stuff. All right, some line AoEs are going to appear under our feet. You're going to move out of them after they appear. Just hang out here for a second. Get ready. Move out now. Sand is safe. White sand is safe. Now after this, we're going to have those earth shakers I talked about. No tether above your head after this. Run away from the party, please. The boss is going to jump again. The party should stack next to the boss. Everyone else should go away. I'm sorry, the tethers rather should go away from the boss. Green brick is safe. Green brick is safe. Check if you have an earth shaker tether. Earth shaker tethers will be out now. Earth shaker tethers out now. Excellently done. Flawless execution. Good stuff, good stuff. We're going to do this again. White sand is safe. Earth tether's out. White sand is safe. Earth shaker's out. Perfect. Good job. All right, dodge these lines. Raid Wide's going to come out shortly. You can top people off. Raid Wide's coming out. After this, okay, intercardinal, boss is facing north, so the numbers are safe. Well, mostly, because it's not perfectly centered, but just intercardinal the boss. Intercardinal the boss. You guys can do basic spatial stuff. Perfect. We're good. Easy. No fret. All right, be near the boss again, because the sides of the arena will not be safe. Now we're going to do the fancy one. So just listen to the calls here. It's going to involve a fourfold mercy. Go to Charlie. We're going to go clockwise. Wait for these clones to start moving. All right, you can start rotating. It's going to be south, south, north, north. So wait for this last clone. Wait, go now. All right, south, south, north, north. Nice and easy. Get ready. And go. Look away from the orb on 4. Resolve the ice pattern. Run away from the flower. Group up as best you can for chains. Chains are coming out. Just group up as best you can. And break your chain. Break your chains. We're doing great. Keep it up. Raid Wide's coming out. Regular ass tank busters coming out. Just don't be on the main tank if you're not the main tank. Alright, so after this, we're going to do another fancy one. We're going to do the rings. So, you know, green brick, white sand, and a fourfold mercy. I will tell you exactly what to do. All the safe spots. Just listen to the call. North, north, south, south. Starting on white sand. Start on sand. North, north, south, south. We'll end on brick. Get ready. Go across. End on brick. And on green brick for me, please. Great work. Green brick is still safe. Stay on green brick for me. And do Seasons of Mercy. Look away from the orb. Run away from the flower. Alright, do the ice pattern first here. Don't get baited by these lines. Do the ice pattern first. Now move. That was the exception we didn't talk about earlier. But you all are doing fantastic. Holy shit, we're gonna kill Trinity Seeker without Pures? This is fucking hilarious. Anyway, alright. Raid Wide's coming out. It's entirely possible. Healers, if you have multiple people dead, you can LB3, but otherwise save it if you don't do it like in the next second or two. It's okay if you don't have it. Alright. Beyond the boss, sides are not safe. Beyond the boss, sides are not safe. Alright, next up we're going to either get in front of or behind a platform, and then a clone is going to do fourfold mercy. Clone is going to do the fourfold mercy. We're going to hide behind a platform west. Get behind one of the western platforms. Either 4 or 1. Either is fine. 2 movements. Right, left, right of the clone. Still true north, but right, left, right. Go now. Right, left, right of the clone. Move. And move back. It's okay. That one's really tricky. Don't worry if you got by that. Alright, we're going to break chains shortly. Break chains now. Break chains now. Healers, you can LB3 if you have it. Healers, you can LB3 if you have it. Raid Wide. Alright, now we're going to do an earthen ring. So again, green brick, white sand. And we're going to get in front of or behind a platform. You can kind of pregame by moving out on this for range caster. Makes it a little bit easier. Alright, we're going to get in front of a platform, but we're not sure what type yet. Green brick or white sand. Green brick. In front of a platform, green brick. We just killed Trinity Seeker without Pures. That's actually hilarious. What the fuck? Alright, well, cool. I mean, that's a thing that we did. Awesome. So healers, if you're going to res someone, please stand on top of their body so we don't waste our rises. We have a lot of work to do, obviously. Everyone, get your loot from that chest. That is your personal loot. Also, there's traps in the future hallways, so please don't kill yourselves. But yeah, healers, I guess we're going to rise people and go do a Scuffed Queensguard too, because sure, fuck it, why not? This is so funny. Oh, goodness. I did not plan on getting this far in this first poll. It's really, really funny. I think we should have enough arises that we shouldn't need to sack, but if we do, I'll let you know. I appreciate the offer. Yes, please be careful of those traps, by the by. So if you're in Party F with Pash, Pash is our duelist. They will need some buffs from you, so Pash, I'll let you have the floor for a second while we're resing.
Yeah, but especially protect and...
On, by the way. If Cap's gone, you can go duel.
We have a protect in our party or not.
I got Protect Pash if you want it. I got you.
Yeah, it's okay.
Here, I'll come give it to you. There you go. All right, everyone's up. Again, don't forget your loot. You earned that. That's yours. There's personal loot. So if you forgot it, come back for it. That is yours. You guys are doing great. Holy shit. I really genuinely did not think we were going to get past Trinity Secret without pure essences. That's so fucking funny. Okay, so that right there just means that the duel has started. Pash is our duelist. For those who don't know, inside DRS, there's an entirely separate boss fight that only one person can do. It is strictly pass-fail. If they fail, we cannot go res them. They're done. So we wish them well, but that's it. Pash is on their own. So anyway, while Pash is doing that, I'm going to put up some quick markers for Dahu. Yeah, you guys are fucking kicking ass, so... Okay. Please make sure you re-up on your food buff in case that's running low, because good lord, some of you probably need stamina without pure essences. But anyway. Okay. I am going to... hey, I'm glad you brought your pure. Nothing wrong with that. If you did, you did. I'm going to, we don't really respect Dahu in this house, so I'm going to explain one mechanic of Dahu really quick, but other than that, this is just a trash boss. He's a trash lizard, and I don't respect him. He doesn't respect me. Really quick, basically there's a mechanic called numbers, and if you get a number above your head, here's what I need you to do. This is the one mechanic that's like genuinely important. Go to an add next to the number. Do not stand on the marker itself. It's not a limit cut, I promise. It's not that bad. But if you get a 1, go to the 1 marker and find an add next to it. Excuse me, and stand on top of that add. Do not stand just on top of the marker, find an add next to the marker. That's all I need you to do. However, it's really important that the person who gets 1, 2, 3, and 4 actually does this. So if you get that number above your head, please drop your GCD if you need to, pop sprint, and go over there and find an add next to the marker. It's really important because it gives us safe spots for other mechanics. If we don't do it, you will die. And by you, I mean all of us. So that's the only thing that's really important on Dahu. If you get a big number above your head, and I'll tell you when numbers are coming out, please just respect that. Pop sprint, go to the various area you need to, find an add next to it, stand on top of that add. He'll shoot a fireball at you and kill the add, and that's that. So, okay. Unfortunately, Pash died. So you can 07 or F in chat if you want to, but he'll get another chance because we're going to come back here. So he's going to get a second chance. So it's all good. All right. Anyway, enough talking about Dahu. I don't respect him. He doesn't respect me. Here comes a quick little countdown. We're going to go. And yes, you go near the marker with the corresponding number you get when numbers come. That's correct. So 3 goes roughly around 3 and so on. All right. Hey, look, Dahu got pulled. It's cool. I don't care. No one respects Dahu. All right. So how Dahu starts, and Pass your home, I can just say that. But anyway, watch your feet. Those are just AoEs coming out. There's going to be multiple sets of them. Just watch your feet. He's going to charge twice shortly. Just don't be in front of Dahu when he charges. He's charging north. He's probably going to charge south somewhere, so just be ready for it. He's charging south. Now get next to Dahu down south. Get next to Dahu down south to dodge that giant fire breath. Welcome to Dahu. All right. Lion AoEs are going to come out shortly. Just dodge them. They're just floor AoEs. Not a big deal. After these lion AoEs is going to be numbers. That's the thing I told you was like genuinely actually important. The one mechanic we do have to do. Get ready. It's going to come out very shortly. Numbers are out. Please check above your head. If you have a number, pop sprint. Look out for the AoEs and then go to that various marker and stand on an add next to that marker. Stand on an add next to the marker. All right, cool. We're not all doomed. Well done. Thank you. All right, find a safe spot. Actually, first get left then right. Sorry, left and right. Move right, move right, move right. Now we're gonna find a safe spot for this knockback. That's why we do numbers, to give you safe spots by killing these lions. So you can get cool uptime on this if you're a cool gamer. There's a couple cool gamers right there. All right, get to the side of Dahu. Dahu is rotating clockwise. He's gonna do conal AoEs in front of him 5 times. East is now safe. You can stand in the eastern quadrant the entire time. You will not get hit. Scout's honor, I promise. All right, and next up is ads. Basically, a bunch of ads are going to go on to Soraya. Then Ayu's going to pull aggro once all 6 tethers are on Soraya. All healers, please make sure to heal Soraya and Ayu, because we want to make sure our tanks don't die to ads. And all the DPS, kill the kitties when they come in. All DPS is on the kitties. Kill the kitties. I hate saying it. I love cats, but these cats gotta go. It is what it is. And just make sure to heal the tanks, like I said. Thank you in advance. All right, after this is Dance Dance Revolution Ultimate Mode. You're going to have a whole bunch of ground AoEs and a left-right smash and other fun stuff. So just watch your feet throughout this entire process. You can outrange the left-right smash if you really want to. You can go like really far away. You know, dealer's choice, but just watch your feet. Get left. Move right. Numbers is going to come out. Numbers is coming out. Again, a really important one. Pop sprint. Go to an ad next to that marker. This is really, really important. So please do it. All right, everyone go north. Tanks with markers go south. Tanks with markers go south. Everyone else go north. Tanks with markers go south. Everyone else go north. As you can see, the tanks got flares, and if you're in a flare, you're going to have a bad day. So that's why we do that. And now Dahu's dead. Or he will be dead. He's going counterclockwise. Just don't be in front of Dahu so you don't get fire breath, because that'd be silly. Keep on rotating, and he's dead. All right, we have a couple dead people. Not a big deal. Go ahead and get them rezzed up if you'd be so kind, folks. I'll let others do some rezzing just because I already got plenty slotted. But all right, don't forget your loot, by the way. There is loot here. You can't come back, so don't forget it. Pick it up. It's yours. You earned it. But well done. We're already on Queensguard, and we've been here for an hour. That's really good. And yes, Ayu, you're totally fine to AFK, my dude. Especially considering it's Queensguard. Not a big deal. So, no worries there.
I'm not gonna lie, when you started saying lion lines, I was getting E12S PTSD right there.
Dude, fuck those lion dogs. They're evil. I hate them. They slowed down my prog for weeks. It's the worst. And now you can skip them. You don't even see them anymore. It's great. Can I jukebox? I'd rather not on a fresh prog, just because I think you'll give people heart attacks if we do that. Are you saying if we get far enough, can you jukebox? Then yes. Like if you're talking about post TA, then yes. Also, good take about lions. We were doing some lines on Blue Mage. It's fine. I can use the spell I can't remember that makes me not die to lions. The one that's really good in Blue Mage. That spell. My brain's not frazzled right now.
I'm back.
That one. Good spell. Final Sting is the best spell, though. You're not. Okay. All right. Well, all right. Cool. We're at Queensguard, so that's awesome. Honestly, we're way ahead of schedule, so that's great. Okay. So here's a good thing. Queensguard is the easiest fight here, in my humble opinion. It's broken into 3 different segments. I'm going to talk through each segment one at a time. And then we'll talk about some stuff after that. But just real quick, before I go through this whole kit and caboodle and talking shebang, etc., keep shout chat clear for just a second. I need tanks to volunteer for a couple different positions, as Soraya just did, for example. So I need a Soldier Knight main tank, and then I need an East turret, a West turret, North 1, North 2, and then South 1 and South 2. This is just for all the tanks to volunteer. These are just various tank positions. I promise I'll explain what they do. They're not hard, but I just need tanks to volunteer. So again, I need an East turret, a Soldier Knight, and then I need a South 1, a North 1, and a North 2. Do I have time for a smoke break? Yes, provided you know how this fight already works. If you don't know how the fight works, you'll probably want to hang out just so you can listen. But if you know what the fight is, then yes, you got time for a smoke. So I need a North 2 and a South 1. There's my North 2. That works, Tigro. Enjoy your smoke break. Kate, do you want to be a South 1 instead? Does that work? Cool. Excellent. Awesome. And then I still need... There's my Soldier Knight. Thanks, Cabber. Okay. So, that's all my tank positions. Just remember those for later. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'll tell you what all those are going to be doing as we go through the quick explanation of this fight. So again, same rules as last time. Just do a little wiggle while I'm talking. I appreciate your patience. I'll try not to be as verbose this time. So let's just get started. Okay, so Queensguard starts where this is the fight that we use Steel Sting and Spellforge. So healers who brought Steel Sting and Spellforge, this is where we're going to use it. We have a couple different things that I want to pull up actually. So let me do that right now while I'm thinking about it. So if you're looking in Discord, you're going to see a bunch of pictures that look like shitposts. The joyous thing is they're not. Every single one of these is like legitimately a helpful graph, like unironically. So feel free to reference those. And I'll be talking through these various pictures as I discuss the mechanics. So, Rare, do you want more images? Hey, Opal, I mean, hey, feel free, go for it. If you got resources that you want to share that you think could be helpful, I'm not opposed. So, okay, all right, let's talk shop. So, like I said, healers, we're going to be using Steel Sting and Spellforge throughout the first phase of this fight. Long story short, the boss is becoming vulnerable to either magic damage or physical damage. So we use Steel Sting and Spellforge, along with you all having a macro to use the appropriate buff or drop off the appropriate buff as needed, or you can just click it off if you want to do the right damage type. If you're someone who's like on PlayStation, you're like, oh my god, I don't want to have to click something, give me a macro. If you check in Discord right now at the very bottom, there's a 2-line macro you can make that'll just make it so you always take off either buff, which is fine. So you can use that to get rid of the buff that you don't want. These are good images, by the way. I like those. Thanks, Walt. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk through how that mechanic works in particular. So obviously, your pure casters will need Steel Sting. So those are, your healers, Black Mage and Summoner. And then your pure physical classes, so, all your melee DPS, your Fizz range DPS, those will need Spellforge along with your tanks. The exceptions, however, the special boys, are Paladin, Dark Knight, Ninja, Reaper, Bard, and Red Mage. Those classes will always need a buff. So again, Paladin, Dark Knight, Ninja, Reaper, Bard, and Red Mage. If you have those classes in your party, those are your special boys, gals, and non-binary pals, and they need to always have a buff, whether it be Steel Sting or Spellforge is appropriate. And that's because they do mixed damage based on their attacks. And obviously we want them to do all of their damage, so we have to give them the appropriate type. So that's what that's for. I understand that there is a party or two that might be missing Steel Sting and Spellforge. Don't panic. That's okay. We can adopt some kids. We do it plenty of times. It's not the end of the world, and you can fix it for the next run when we come back. So it's fine. But we can adopt some children and have other healers help you out. I'll explain how we'll do that when we get there. So, but anyway, needless to say, first phase, Steel Sting, Spellforge, very important if you want to do the proper damage. So, okay. After that, we're going to get to bombs with sword and shield. So this is now where you're going to want to start looking at these shit posts that I have in Discord, because they're not actually shit posts and they're legitimately helpful. So let's talk through sword first, because it's really easy. I'm going to put a little marker above my head, give you all the safety shape for reference. So hi, hello, it's me. The safety circle is Rare talking. So if you're doing swords, you want to be anywhere around here. Just anywhere on the outside of the arena is going to be safe for swords, because you need to be on the edge of the arena to resolve swords safely. So whenever I say it's swords with bombs, just be on the edge of the arena, nice and safe. If you're this far in, you're going to die. If you're this far in, you'll be fine. Nice and simple, right? Okay, swords, outside, easy. Shield is a bit more complicated. This is the first shit post we're talking about here, on the second shit post and the third shit post. So we're going to go bowling on shields. So how this works is the knight is going to have a blue line pointing towards the center blue orb. And the knight is going to charge at that blue orb and basically go bowling and explode the other side of the arena. So what you want to do is get knocked back away from the blue orb, because it does a knockback, at an acute angle of the blue line. So if you look at the second image, for example, and the third, the GIF example, you want to find the blue orb, get knocked back away from the blue orb at an acute angle, so 90 degrees or less, towards the blue line. Nice and neat. The third image there is an actual GIF example of someone physically doing the knockback, so you can see how it looks in game. But basically, shields, go bowling, swords, edge of the arena. Nice and neat. The other thing with bombs is there's possibility for gravity to be reversed. All I need you to do is just pay attention to if you explicitly have a tether. I cannot see if you have a tether. Only you can see if you have a tether. It will also give you a debuff. If you're the kind of person who has difficulty seeing things that are like attached to your character in an external sense, it will give you a debuff, so you can look at the debuff. But if you have a tether, then I will tell you, tethers to small bombs, rest to large. Or I might say, tethers to large bombs, rest to small. That can happen on either sword or shield. That'll be happening on both of them. I just need you to go to the appropriate place. Again, I can't tell you if you have a tether or not. Only you can see that, so you just need to pay attention and go to the appropriate place for it. Once again, there's tethers and there's not tethers. Pretty straightforward. All right, that's it for bombs. We'll do that twice, potentially, so just pay attention. All right, After that, we dispel the warrior. Assuming my warrior tank has dispel, I think that was Soraya. Soraya, I'm just assuming that you already have. Yeah, okay. You know what you're doing. So cool. Soraya will take care of the warrior. Excellent. Then we just beat the shit out of the bosses for a while. We're hanging out. We're vibing, doing all the cool stuff that DPS gamers do. Then you'll get tethered again. If you get tethered again, tethered people are going to go to green wind. Non-tethered people are going to go to purple gravity. That is the fourth picture amongst the ship posts. It's going to show you the sequence of actions that takes place. So tethered green goes to, tethered people go to green wind, non-tethered people go to purple gravity. And I'll say that as the call also. Just pay attention if you get the tether. Then after that, we'll run in towards the center to find the missing Garuda nail. If you've done like Garuda, Ifrit, etc., like those various fights, nails will spawn, and we just want to find the area that doesn't have a nail. So, for example, south, north, east, or west. And then, depending on if the warrior is doing sword or shield attacks, we either stay close to the knight in the center, or we run away from the knight in the center. And it's just towards whatever direction doesn't have the nail, right? So, for example, I might say, stay close down south, or I might say, run away towards alpha. Well, actually, that's bad. Towards 1 is more appropriate. So just as an example, right? Nice and simple. Believe it or not, that's the end of phase 1. That stuff just repeats. So we do bombs again, we do the colored tethers again, as needed until they die. And given you guys are killing Trinity Seeker without pure essences, I'm inclined to think they're going to die in just fine time. So there's raid wides and tank busters. I'll make sure people are aware of the raid wides in advance so you can properly mitigate and heal through them, given people that don't have pure essences and all that good stuff. But that's the first part of the fight. Any questions on part 1 at all? Again, there's genuinely no dumb questions on my runs, I promise. I'm happy to repeat something if people need me to. We're not in any rush, considering we're already here this fast, so. Okay, I'll move on. But if you have any questions later on, feel free to let me know. Did we get medal from this? No, because no one loves Savage, and I wish the devs did, but they don't, so no. All right. Part 2. This is the really easy part. You do if you clear? Do you actually? I thought you didn't. It's like a really small amount. It's like a hilariously small amount that doesn't matter. Yeah, okay, 600k. Right. It's like less than a fate's worth. I practically just wrote it off. Anyway, I'm moving on. Sorry. Part 2. All right, part 2 is pretty simple. You guys are going to hit some bosses. I'm going to tell you to go places. So ship post 5 and 6 are the ones I need your reference here real quick. So how this is going to work is I'm going to tell you to, for example, I'll say like 3 is safe, right? So you come down to 3, and then in the center of the arena is going to be the gunner. What I need you to do is you're going to get the Mustadio circle around you. For those of you who remember fighting Mustadio, the giant sniper boss from Rita Lighthouse, I think. I can remember what one that is from. It's the Final Fantasy Tactics, Orborn Monastery. Yeah, thank you. It's the Final Fantasy Tactics boss. Anyway, so that guy, you're going to have a ring around you. I need you to point the gap in that ring towards the center, towards the gunner. So gaps to gunner in the center. And then after that, yes, show him your hole. We're all 12, hardy har. And then after that, if you look at the final ship post, you're going to have turrets to your west and east. I need you to be in line with 1 turret and then point your gap towards the turret. So simply put, go to the safe spot, turn your gap towards the gunner in the center. You get hit, immediately swivel your character so your gap is facing the turret to your left, or your right. Obviously, don't get hit by 2 turrets at once, you'll die. So just make sure you're in line with 1 turret to your left or right, and then spin your character. There's raid wides and tank busters, no one cares about that because those are easy. And then I'll have my turret tanks, so the people who volunteered to my west and east turret tanks. You'll turn on your tank stance, I'll literally tell you to, so you don't have to remember to, I will literally tell you to. And then turret mobs will spawn. Get aggro on them immediately, keep aggro on them. They'll start doing a cast called Sniper Shot. It's a 1-hit kill. You just invuln the Sniper Shot. Technically, you can kitchen sink it. I would highly recommend not trying to prove your worth by kitchen sinking it. Just hit your invuln. That said, healers, if it's a Gunbreaker, a Dark Knight, a Warrior, they might need help with heals. Specifically, Dark Knight will definitely need help with heals. So just keep an eye out for your tanks that are invulning. Make sure to heal them up right away, just so that way they're up nice and safe and healthy. Then after those are... Oh, and all the DPS go kill the turret. Of course, if it wasn't already on. You go kill the guns before they explode. Then there's some raid wides, and then there's fire and ice. Fire and ice is really the last thing we really need to talk about. You've all been to caster multiple times at this point. You remember the portents, fire portent, ice portent. Fire portent means you do nothing. Sheath your weapon, don't jump, don't emote, don't move, don't attack, do nothing. Really make sure you sheath your weapon if you're a fizz range, or you'll auto attack and kill yourself. Ice portent, you just move in a circle or just run around. You can do whatever you want as long as you're moving the entire time. That's all I needed to do. So, and then, oh no, did I just get timed out? Rip, my boy, my cat boy. It's okay, we'll see him in a minute. It's okay, Ayu, I love you, it's all right. He got timed out because he had to go eat dinner, so it's all good, buddy. It happens. We're gonna die here most likely anyway, or we're definitely gonna die in Trinity Bound, so it's fine. Anyway, that's the end of part 2. I'm gonna shut up and keep moving on. Sorry, I'm Brandon. Last part. Okay, final phase. Final phase. All right, if you scroll all the way down, I'm gonna post this one more time. This is the very, very final part. So everyone who's a North gamer, Alpha Bravo Charlie, is gonna go north. And then everyone who's a South gamer, Delta Echo Foxtrot, is going to go south. My North 1 and South 1 tanks are going to turn on the tank stance, and you're going to pick up aggro on the aura spheres, these blue orbs, north and south. All the DPS kill those aura spheres. When they die, I will take a sip of water in a second. I see you, Twitch chat. I see you, Yell chat. Just be patient. I'm explaining boss stuff. Be patient. Anyway. When the aura sphere dies, those tanks need to use their tank invulns, otherwise you'll die. You'll have a giant fuck you tank buster icon above your head. Just press your invuln and you'll live. You'll be fine. Healers, once again, if it's like a Dark Knight or something, make sure to heal them, help them out. Whenever the aura spheres are dead, everyone just goes and kills the bosses. The bosses will do a move called Coat of Arms, where they'll have a shield around them. If you hit the shield, you will get stunned and you'll get knocked back and you'll potentially die. So just during Coat of Arms, make sure to be on the safe side of the bosses when you're hitting them, and during the cast of Coat of Arms, stop what you're doing, wait for the shields to come up, rotate appropriately, and then keep mindlessly killing the shit out of the bosses. The aura spheres will spawn a second time, in which case all the DPS need to go back north and south and kill those aura spheres, because if they don't die, bad things happen to us. So please make sure to do that. And then that's when my North 2 and South 2 tanks turn on their tank stance to get aggro, if that wasn't obvious, by the way. And then we kill the bosses, and that's the end of the fight. Okay, I talked a lot. Any questions? Goodness me. Sorry, I am trying to get through these as fast as I can. Any questions? I know that was a lot, by the way. Thank you for your patience. This fight's genuinely not hard. Did you drink your water? I will drink some apple cider right now. There's your ASMR proof. I'm running low. I actually need to get more, but your audio got quiet. I probably wasn't talking into the microphone. I apologize. Okay, part of these just real quick, because I did a lot of talking. Just do a quick ready check. Just make sure we're good to go. We're not actually going to poll, because I know we need to adopt some children, but I just want to make sure everyone's here. So. All right. Okay, so I believe it's Party B, which is perfectly fine. Party B, if you need Spellforge in any capacity, line up for me on the west side of the arena, just slightly separate from each other. So if you're Party Bravo and you need Spellforge in some capacity, just line up on the west side. Again, that's physical persons, your physical DPS, range DPS. Tanks, pure casters will not need, but red mages will, because they're special boys. Okay, so I see we have Alexandria, Soraya, and Alyssa. So, actually, no, don't come back yet, you big sillies. Stay out there. We gotta adopt you. What are you doing? You're up for adoption right now. All right, healers who have Spellforge, I need you to pick a child, and you're gonna adopt that child. Soraya, I'm picking you. So healers who have Spellforge, I just need you to be in charge of this person to make sure to give them Spellforge, because if you don't, no one will, and they'll do no damage for the entire first phase. So I would recommend just like focus targeting them or something, just so you don't forget about them. They are now your extra special child, your adopted child. You're going to take care of them. So please make sure to give them Spellforge when we start the fight. So, okay. Healers, go ahead and slot in Steel Sting and Spellforge if you've not already done so. Everyone needs Shell, so if you still need Shell, if you haven't gotten it yet, just like, I don't know, go off to the right-hand side. We can get you hooked up. You can use a Re-Raiser because we're already here, so screw it. Why not, right? And then tanks need Protect. Tanks who need... if you need protect, go left. If you need shell, go right. I'm gonna make this easy. If you need protect still in your tank, go left. If you need shell, go right. My tanks, sorry, I already slotted over protect because I'm dumb and bad. So if someone could just give these tanks on the left-hand side, if you have protect slotted, please give those tanks protect. They don't necessarily have to have it. It's nicer if they do. So, okay. Anyway, so party A was ready, B was ready, D was ready, F was ready, E was ready, C was ready. That's That's everyone. Okay, cool. Nobody has shell slotted anymore. Do I have shell? I do have shell. Okay. But I don't. It'll be fine. I'm not worried about it. It'll be fine. All right, you can actually walk up towards the bosses. You will not aggro as long as you don't actually attack them. So, I'm gonna do a full countdown. Healers, one more thing. So healers, please reapply Steel Sting and Spellforge when I start this countdown. The reason for that is if we do it appropriately and get a good pattern, you will not have to do it a second. So, I will drink water in a second, Twitch chat. Be nice to the fresh proggies. We need to focus on helping them fresh prog first. Be patient. All right, healers, please apply Steel Sting and Spellforge as is appropriate for the various classes right now. Thank you, thank you. Main tanks, make sure your tank stance is on. My two main tanks, make sure your tank stance is on. You say water's more important? Valid take. Understandable. Have a nice day. All right, you can AoE here, by the way, so feel free. Oh yes, right. Sorry, I got you. Literally the person I said I would adopt, and I already forgot them. I'm a terrible father. All right, some raid wides are gonna come out shortly, so just get ready for that, healers. I'll tell you when. Raid wide's coming out. Feel free to mitigate. We might see a second one. It just depends. But maybe not. All right, second one is coming out. We are going to see the second one. All right, split up DPS evenly between these two ads. Warrior's going to go to the edge wall. Then the knight will be in the direct center. The DPS just split 50-50. Doesn't have to be perfect. Just 50-50. All right, get ready to potentially. Okay, drop Steel Sting. Apply Spellforge. Drop Steel Sting. Apply Spellforge. Don't forget your special boys, your red mages, ninjas, bards, dark knights, reapers, paladins, etc. Don't forget your special boys. All right, we're gonna go bowling. We are gonna go bowling. We're gonna knock towards our bombs from the center. Tethers to large, rests to small. Tethers to large, rests to small. Get knocked from the center, an acute angle. Tethers to large, rests to small. Acute angle the blue line. Acute angle. All right. If you had a tether, move into an explosion now. Those explosions are safe spots. If you died, don't worry about it. First time seeing it, not a big deal. Everyone back on the bosses. Get ready to dispel the warrior for me. Feel free to top people off, because there will be a raid wide in a little bit. Raid wide's coming out. A little more damage on Knight. Not a huge deal, just shift some folks over. We're just kind of hanging out doing damage right now. Alright, if this is a filler cast, but if you do get a tether, go to green win. If you do not get a tether, go to purple gravity. Tethers are out. Tethers to green, non-tethers to purple. Make sure you're in just one and not both of them. Don't get overlapped. It's Shield Omen. We're going to go in the center now and stay near the boss. Find a safe spot and get near the boss. Looks like it's just west of the boss. Near the boss, just west of them. Not bad. All right, back on the bosses. Please dispel the warrior. Thank you. Raid wide's coming out. Raid wide's coming out. A little more damage on warrior. You guys are doing great. This is really good, by the way. Keep it up. Tank busters. Regular old tank busters. Just mitigate them. Alright, now we're going to do all of this a second time. You might need to swap buffs. Healers, please be ready to help people swap buffs. We do need to swap. Drop Spellforge, apply Steel Sting. Drop Spellforge, apply Steel Sting. Healers do need to swap the buffs. Don't forget your special boys, red mages, bards, ninjas, reapers, paladins, dark knights, etc. Alright, we're going to do sword. Resolve your bombs on the edge of the arena. Outside of the arena. Tethers to small, rest to large. Tethers to small, rest to large on the outside of the arena. On the outside of the arena. If you had a tether, get ready to move into an explosion. Those are going to be safe spots in just a second. Move now. You guys are doing really good. Put full damage on Knight. Pump on Knight for a little bit. Dispel the Warrior. Raidbot will be coming out shortly, by the way. Raidbot's coming out. Make sure to top people off. Alright, now we can split 50-50. We can split 50-50 again. And we'll just kill him. Make him dead. Alright, healers, you do not need Steel Sting or Spellforge at all anymore. They no longer matter. Gunner will be in the center. Soldier will be at the wall. Split damage 50-50 just like last time. Alright, you all can just mindlessly hit the bosses. No thinking required. Apes together strong. Just do lots of big numbers. I'll tell you where to go in just a minute. I gotta deal with some frogs. Alright, frogs of the pond. Wherefore art thou safe spot? Frogs are telling me that 1 is safe. Go to 1. Be up on the 1 marker. Put your gap towards the center. Turn your gap towards the center. Be in line with 1 turret on your left or right. Get ready. Rotate now. Alright, good job. Feel free to heal people up. Back on the bosses. Tank busters. Tank busters. A raid ride will be after this, but this is just tank busters. Raid wide, coming out. Alright. Turret tanks. Please turn on your tank stance. Turret tanks. Turn on your tank stance. And you're an invuln sniper shot. Once you see the counter. You don't do it quite fast. Alright, all DPS are going to be on these gun turrets. All DPS, there's 2 gun turrets. Make them dead. All damage is on both gun turrets. Tanks, make sure you have aggro, and use your invulns now for sniper shot. Healers, make sure to watch those tanks, they might need some help. Kill the other turret. Perfect. There's the raid bite I'd never call. Sorry if you died to that, because no one ever dies to it, but maybe they did actually, so I hope not. Anyway, moving on. Alright. Do nothing. Sheath your weapon. Don't move. Don't attack. Don't emote. Wait. Do nothing. Wait. Wait. You're good. Do whatever you want. Well, don't die, but, you know, outside of that. Alright. This is a filler cast. Alright, some clones are going to jump around. I'm just going to tell you where the safe spot is. I'm watching Alpha for the vets who know what they're doing. I'm watching Alpha. If you want to watch the other one, that's fine. Delta is safe. Delta is one of the safe spots. Point your gap towards the center, gunner. Gap towards the center. Get ready to rotate. Get ready to rotate. Get ready to rotate. Rotate now. Great job. Back on them both. They're still on even health, which is fantastic. If you died, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Raid wide's coming out. Raid wide's coming out. Raid wide's coming out. And make them dead. North gamers go north. North 1 and South 1 tanks. Tank stance on. Get on those aura spheres. Make sure you keep aggro. All DPS is on the aura spheres, not the bosses. I need a different tank to pick up South 1. I need a different tank to pick up South 1. Healers, go to your reflect positions. Healers, go to your reflect spots and start reflecting. Healers, look for a second orb to reflect. I did not talk to the healers about this. That was very dumb of me. I literally didn't tell them how this works, and we did it okay anyway. You killed the bosses, by the way, when the aura spheres are dead. I'm sorry, I should have made that clear. Go beat them up, gamers. You earned that. Alright, do nothing for a second. Wait for 1 second. Don't kill yourselves. Wait. Alright, now beat up the bosses some more on the appropriate side. North 2 and South 2 tanks. Turn on your tank stance. Healers, your reflect spots. Start reflecting. Kill those aura spheres. All DPS is killing aura spheres again. Healers, look for a second one to reflect. Kill those aura spheres, gamers. Once those are dead, be back on the boss's healers. LB3 if you have multiple dead. Feel free. Healers, LB3 if you have people dead. Otherwise, kill the bosses. Don't kill yourselves. Wait for the coat of arms. Wait for the coat of arms. Don't kill yourselves. All right, kill the bosses. Make them dead. Make them dead. Make them dead. And we cleared Queensguard with people that don't have pure essences. This run is cracked as shit. This is legitimately funny at this point. All right, don't forget your loot. There's personal loot here. Please come back for it if you forgot it. That's yours. You don't want to miss that. Make sure to pick it up. All right, we have a couple people that are dead, so if you can just res them, please. All right, we're literally going to Trinity Avowed, so all right. All right, chat wants you to know, all the fresh proggers, that they're very proud of you. All Twitch chat wants you to know they're very proud of you. I'll do a quick elevator pitch while we're moving our way to Phantom. As a reminder,
Twitch chat.
this is a fundraiser for a children's hospital. That's what I've been doing this whole week. So I'm currently raising money for the Riley Hospital for Children, and you are all directly helping that by making me do silly things and meme runs tomorrow and later on as well. You can make me pet cats and do other silly things if you donate towards the incentive. There's no need to do so, but just elevator pitch. It's for a good cause. I don't see any of the money. It goes straight to the children's hospital. It's via Extra Life. It's great. We literally have someone from that hospital in this raid, which is crazy and cool. That's them. So it's a good cause. There's literal proof right there for you that this hospital does great things for many people. So if you feel so inclined, feel free to donate. You do not have to, but if you want to, feel free. So more information will be after the raid if you want to do that, or you can just go on my Twitch right now and there's a bunch of information there too. So yeah, there you go. Awesome, Kuro. Right on. Okay. Also, I will drink water during the break, which is right after this. So you calm down, Twitch chat. You've been very nice. Please be patient. Okay. So yeah, do we have Banish? Hardy. Yes, I have Banish. There's a long running joke that I forgot to bring Banish in my runs like 3 times, and now every time you ping me on Discord, there's a little Banish icon under your message because the bot laughs at me. So that's what it is. That's what Banish is for. Okay. I'm gonna like very briefly talk through like 2 mechanics this boss does, and then we're just gonna move on. So you guys are all gonna be great. I have absolute faith that you can do Phantom. It's not gonna be a problem. So there's 2 things we need to talk about. So the first thing is that this boss, as you can see with these markers, I'm gonna basically tell you to go to Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, or Delta, and likewise 1, 2, 3, or 4 for safe spots. In regards to following a donut down from the north down south, and then dodging some line AoEs and stuff like that. It's really not hard. Just listen to the calls, and it's very visually obvious what's happening. And just listen to what I tell you to do and do it appropriately, and you'll be just fine. But the main thing is just at the very start of the fight, we're either going to go to Alpha or Delta, and there's going to be this really big donut AoE around us, and it's going to slowly move down along these circles. As you can see, like Luzren's kind of jumping down towards it. I'm currently standing on one. These circles, what you use as an indicator for each time it increments down the floor. So just move from one little circle to the next little circle, and you'll be perfectly fine. Just also watch out for some death walls that'll be on the north and south. But that's the first important thing. Now, the second important thing is strictly for me, healers. I have a secret mission entrusted to you and only you. Halfway through this boss fight, we will do a DPS check with the DPS, where they'll be killing some red ghosts, but we will be healing some white ghosts. And if we heal them first, that means we're cool, because we're healers, and we're obviously cool. So we're going to heal all the ghosts first, before the DPS kill all the red ghosts. I will go ahead and use Benediction, the white mage instant 100% heal, on the 3rd ad in the north. But other than that, just kind of like use your healing cooldowns as appropriate. Don't burn them all on the very first wave, because there's 3 waves. But basically, healers, this is your secret special agenda to prove that we are cooler than the DPS players, because we are. So we must win. So thank you. That's it. I'm using Broil. Okay. Anyway, that's the other. Oh my god, I have to drink like 20. Twitch chat's going crazy right now. That's not your problem. You guys are here to do this, not my Twitch chat. All right, those are the things I give a shit about on this boss. I'm not gonna explain the other things because they don't matter. Start chugging. All right, I'm gonna do a full count. If you're refreshing your actions on Trinity Avowed, you can pop off here and use your DPS actions on Phantom if you want to, like Lost Font of Power, Lost Font of Magic, etc. You don't have to, but you can if you want to. So just FYI, that's an option that you have. But otherwise, like I said, there's technically a raid wipe at the very start of this. It tickles, it doesn't hit very hard, and then we're going to go straight into either Alpha or Bravo as a safe spot for the next mechanic. So here we go. And yes, I'm applying Banish. Don't worry. For those who wonder, Banish makes you do additional damage against undead, and wouldn't you know it, this guy's undead. So, all right, here comes a raid wipe. It's not going to kill you. You're going to be fine. It tickles. We're good. Except Oswin, because he takes extra damage right now. Go to Alpha or Delta. We'll find out shortly. I'll tell you which one. We're gonna go to Alpha. We're gonna go to Alpha, everyone. So start on the A marker, and you're slowly increment down with this donut AoE in just a second. Goes from one little circle to the next one. Get ready. Here we go. Go. And just make sure you don't hit the death wall at the very end. There is a death wall at the very end, so just be careful. All the way down, and don't hit the death wall. Just be careful. Just be careful. All right, and go to 2. Go to 2. Go to 2. We're gonna hang out here for just a second. We might need to move again. We might not need to move again. I'll let you know in just a minute. We do need to move. Go to 1 or 3. I'm not your dad, but if you're melee, you're probably going to want to go to 1. We're going to hang out here for just a second. What if Soraya went to 3? Then that would be funny. That's what my response would be. It would be funny. All right, get ready. Go back to 2. 2 is now safe again. 2 is now safe. All right, and get ready to move one more time. And back to 1 or 3. Back to 1 or 3. Either is fine. All right, healers. Super secret, awesome agenda starts now, where we heal white ghosts. Go for it, healers. I believe in you. Go forth and conquer, my brethren. Look at their slow GCD damage spells. Meanwhile, by comparison, we're healed, we're chilling, we're vibing. And again, I got the northern one of this next wave healers, so if you want to take care of the other 2, it'd be great. All right, healers. All right, healers. Bring it home. Let's go! All is right with the world. The world is a just and true place. All right, please interrupt the boss. Thank you. Fizz range didn't go on strike. I appreciate you. And we'll kill the boss because I don't want to call the next mechanic because I'm lazy and I just don't feel like it. Do save your 2s, build gauge Fraternity Avowed. You do not want to waste your 2s at this point. I should have specified that earlier. If you already pumped them and dunked them, my bad. It's not your fault, I should have told you. But I don't feel like doing the next thing, so we're just going to kill him. And dead. There are traps ahead. Really quick, 2 things. We're going to take a 5-minute break when we get to the next boss, but to get there are traps ahead. Now, if you look in front of you, you can see ravenous dogs that are running through traps at light-breaking speeds because they're DRS pilled and they can't help themselves. They just must go pop the traps. So, but please just be careful because there are some traps that we actually do not want to pop. There are some pink traps that you legitimately don't want to pop. So just please be careful. Yes, just like in BA, for sure. There's an explosive trap in the room. Please be careful. Don't touch that one. No jokes, legit. Please be careful. Please be careful. Don't touch the explosive traps. I'm pleading, I'm begging, I'm sobbing. And you didn't want to do that with the pink one, but it's okay because we have one more. But if we touch the other pink one, we actually can't progress the raid, like unironically. So I would recommend not doing that in the future. People don't like that. It's okay. Just more of an FYI. Okay, all right. So we, real quick, because we are crazy ahead of schedule, we're going to take a full 5-minute break. With that said, please don't get AFK'd. So, just come move like a couple minutes after your 5-minute break or so. Like, just make sure you check. But go take a full 5-minute break. Get up. I apparently need to go drink like 3 gallons of water, I guess. But go enjoy a full 5-minute break. Come back at 37 after the hour. Yeah, go to the bathroom, get up and stretch. You guys are doing fantastic, by the way. This is literally where we wanted to end tonight, and we're already here in 90 minutes. So already on camera, I want to see you chug. Well, okay. I'll figure something out. I'll be back in a second. If you have Twitch up, you can come watch me on Twitch for a couple minutes. I'll figure something out.
Hello, friends. Just here to apologize to Rose. The Twitch is making him drink water. So he's out for a second.
I had to drink a very large Twilight Cup's worth of water, and I really had to burp. So, hi chat, and hi Raid. How are we doing? My chat is being very nice to me right now, and by nice I mean vindictive. Okay. All right. So now that I'm drinking like a literal, I don't know, like liter of water, let's talk through Trinity Avowed, and then you can make me drink more afterwards. Okay. Because we're here so early, I'm actually gonna. So here's the thing. Normally, I don't explain all of Trinity Avowed's mechanics, just because like you're not expected to know everything here. You can just kind of see the fight and learn it and go from it that way. But we're here wicked early, and I'd really like you guys to get the most out of this. So I'm actually going to explain through all of the mechanics for Trinity Avowed. This might take me a while, just full disclosure. So please make sure you wiggle and move around a little bit while I'm doing that. So just keep that in mind. Okay, so Trinity Avowed, for those of you who've done the normal, you'll recall, has 3 weapons. They have a sword, a staff, and a bow. In Savage, what's going to happen is we're going to see each weapon 2 times, and the order is randomized every time you pull Trinity. You don't really need to know that so much as I do. I need to remember what the order is just to tell you guys what to do. But just for your awareness in general, we will see each weapon 2 times. So, I'm going to explain the basic patterns of the weapons, like the first half of the fight, and then I'll explain the second half, which is slightly more complicated. So, okay. So for the very very first thing that Trinity Avowed does is a shared tank buster. So all tanks are going to go north for a shared tank buster, and then after that is a raid wide. Now the thing is with these raid wides, they are bleed wides, and they hit very, very hard, even with like a pure essence on. They hit legitimately very hard. So you will want shell, but also one of your tanks, the main tank ideally, should have Aether Shield slotted in as one of their actions, and every time there's a raid wide, they need to use Aether Shield. If the main tank dies at any point off tank, do not wait to see if they get re-raised. Just slot in Aether Shield. Assume you now are the one responsible for it. Slot it in right away and start using it right away. Whenever there's a raid wide, I should say. Also, sorry if I'm a little burpy. I just chugged like a literal liter of water. So, what are you going to do? Anyway, so like I said, fight starts with a shared tank buster, then a raid wide. Every time there's a raid wide, please make sure we use Aether Shield, and we also heavily mitigate it because it does hit very hard. Okay. After that, the boss is going to do 3 attacks. They're going to do a bow attack, a sword attack, and a staff attack. Simply put, I'm just going to tell you where to go. I'm going to tell you either get north of the boss, get south of the boss, or get away from the boss. Nice and simple. That's what I'm going to tell you to do. Outside of that, then we're going to move into the actual weapon swaps. So for example, let's say it's sword, bow, staff. Then we're going to start with the staff. So I'll explain how staff works. Staff is pretty straightforward. You're going to get a hot or cold temperature. You're going to get a debuff, and it'll be on your temperature gauge. I would highly recommend, for the entirety of this fight, to completely pretend your temperature gauge doesn't exist. I would really, really recommend looking at your debuff bar for reasons that'll be more clear later on. But I would highly recommend just looking at your debuff bar and not the temperature gauge, just for the entire fight. It's going to make things easier for you later on if you naturally are already doing. Okay. So, you're going to get a hot or cold temperature. So look at that temperature, and then you're going to need to find the opposite temperature orb, meteor, to get hit by to resolve your temperature. So basically, we're going to all stand in the very center. You're going to get a temperature, and then you're going to get a force march direction. Force march can be front, back, left, or right. You're all familiar with force march. You've seen it before. The main thing with force march on this fight, I'll use an example. Hi, hello, I'm standing in the center here. Force march is going to send you 2 squares of length in a direction. If you pop sprint, you will go further than 2 squares, and there's a very high chance you will die. Also, do a quick little wiggle for me while I'm talking, just so you know. Okay, thank you. Okay. So don't ever sprint on this fight. You don't need it. I would not recommend it. It will fuck you up and potentially kill you on forced marches. So just don't sprint on Trinity Avowed. It's not worth it. It's not necessary. You'll be fine without it. Highly, highly, highly recommend not. Anyway, so like I said, staff starts hot and cold temperature, force march direction. Look at your force march direction. Look for the orbs. Find the corresponding orb that fixes your temperature. You get marched towards that orb. If you have cold 2, find hot. If you have hot 1, find cold 1. So on and so forth. Pretty straightforward. At the end of every weapon phase is a raid wide. And if you're paying attention, whenever there's a raid wide, tanks have to use Aether Shield and everyone needs to mitigate. So that's always going to be true at the end of every weapon phase. So it's going to be a raid wide. All right, let's talk through swords next. Swords is arguably the most complicated one. There is a GIF image right now in chat, in Discord chat from Opalt. You can reference that. That is going to be helpful. But in general, the idea behind swords is that there will be, let me put up the markers actually, that'll make this explanation a bit easier. There we go. All right, so there's going to be multiple different potential safe spots for swords. 1, 2, 3, or 4 will be a safe spot. What you need to do is get hit by the correct sword to fix your temperature. So for example, again, if you're hot 2, you want to find the cold 2 sword. Now how you do that is when I tell you the safe spot, let's say it's 4 as an example, you must get hit by the appropriate sword 1 cardinal square away from the safe spot. This is very important or you will die, just for repetition's sake. To resolve any of the sword mechanics, you must be 1 cardinal square away from the safe spot. So as an example, if 4 is safe, then you would potentially go to either 1, 3, delta, or the square south of 4. You would not go to 2, because you would die. You would not go to Charlie or Alpha, because those are farther away than 1 square, and you would die. So again, make sure you go 1 cardinal square away from the safe spot for sword. I re-emphasize this because people die to it every single time, and I don't want you to die for doing a goofy goober thing. So just make sure you are 1 cardinal square away from the safe spot, find the sword you need to get hit by, be in line with that sword in that square, and you're good to go. That's how sword works. If you are completely mentally overwhelmed, it's okay, it happens. On the first hit of swords, just stand in the safe spot. You can just wait in the safe spot because there's 2 swings, right? So you only need to get hit once, for this first one at least. You can just chill in the safe spot. Take a second, look at what's happening around you, and then move accordingly. All right, that's the end of swords. Moving on. Bow phase, pretty straightforward. Force march is going to get applied. All the tanks go north for a shared tank buster. We're going to get sent towards either Delta or Bravo with our force march away from the giant wall of flames. Straightforward. Then we're going to play the pipe game. Pipe game is in Discord. If you want to reference it, it's already been posted. There's the picture of these various patterns. Simply put, I'll be saying if the pattern is normal or inverted. Just be very clear. If you are someone who does the pipe game where you trace with your mouse, ignore what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It's completely irrelevant to you. If you are tracing with your mouse, just continue to trace with your mouse and you're fine. You don't need to listen to what I'm saying at all. It's completely irrelevant. I'm just saying normal or inverted strictly so people will know, for those who are using the Discord charting, where it is, like what pattern type it is, right? So, anyway, then, oh, there we go. Sorry, I'm taking care of something real quick here. There we go. You're welcome. Okay. Anyway, let's not put anything else in Discord for a second, though, just so that people can actually see the resources they need. Anyway, long story short, find the arrow. The arrow moves down the pipes. And the arrow that is the appropriate temperature to fix your temperature, you get hit by that arrow. So, for example, if you're looking on Discord, let's say you need to get like the fire 2 arrow because you have the cold 2 and the fire arrows on 1, and I tell you it's a normal pattern, you would go to the far right square and stand there to get hit by that arrow. Again, this is if you're using the Discord chart. You do not have to do that. You can just trace with your mouse if you want to trace with your mouse. No shame in that at all. One more quick wiggle check for me. I promise I'm almost done talking. Thank you for your patience. Okay, That's the first half of the fight. The first half of the fight is the easy half of the fight. Now shit's gonna get a little bit more complicated. So let's talk through Bow 2, because that's the most complicated one. And Oswin just posted a nice little picture of what fresh progs look like when they go through. Yeah, that was the easy half. Yeah. Welcome to the hard stuff now. So Bow 2 is where shit's gonna be fun. So let's talk through Bow 2. Okay. So now, whenever you're doing temperatures, you're also gonna have an elemental brand. So again, just for the entire second half of the fight, whenever you are getting a temperature, you are also going to have an elemental brand. That means, as an example, you could have cold 1, hot 2. What that actually means, if you put cold 1 and hot 2 together, is your real actual temperature right now is hot 1. That is why I would highly recommend not looking at your temperature gauge, because the temperature gauge is not going to show you your elemental brand. It is actively lying to you. So you don't want to look at the temperature gauge. That's why you want to look at your debuffs so that you can figure out what your actual temperature is. So for bow in particular, you can never have 3 or 4 of the same element on bow. You're always going to be either already solved because you have like hot 1 and cold 1, so that's already solved, you're net neutral, or somewhere between cold 2 to hot 2. Pretty straightforward there. So again, same thing as last time, where basically what we're going to do at the start is these clones are going to appear from the north and east. They'll do clone line AoEs that are the size of these columns and rows that I'm standing on. So I'll tell you, for example, I don't want to pull the boss, but like outer corner, like over here, inner intercard, up against the wall, which is over here, or the weird one where I'm currently standing. I don't know how to call this. So this one I'm standing right here, this is the weird one. I'll just say go to the weird one, but you just go here if I tell you to. But that could be in any of the 4 quadrants. It doesn't really matter. You just want to get away from the clone lines. And then you'll pop sprint. This is the one time when you do pop sprint. And either run, because there's no force march, to Bravo or Delta from the firewall. Okay, now, this is the part where you have a shopping list of things to do, and you have to do all of them at once, and you're going to scream, and you're going to be fine, because I love you and I believe in you, and you can do this. Okay, you're going to get a temperature. You're going to get an elemental brand. You're also going to get a force march, and now you need to play pipe game. So what that means is smush your 2 temperatures together, figure out what they actually are, find the arrow that fixes your current real temperature, find where that arrow is going to finish, and then move 2 squares away from that so you get force marched into that square to get hit by the arrow by turning your character in the appropriate direction to get force marched towards that block. That's the hardest thing of this fight. I hate it here. Very fair. Very fair. Bow 2 is very difficult for people, especially on their first time. There's no shame in dying to Bow 2 at all. But basically, just to reiterate, you get a temperature, you get an elemental brand. Shove them together. What's my new temperature? That's my actual temperature. Find the arrow that's the opposite of that. Find where that arrow is going to end up being. Move 2 squares away from that square. Get force marched into that square. That's how you do Bow 2. That's the hardest thing in it. If you're already resolved, just to make it clear, if you're already resolved, like you already have like an ice 1, hot 1 together, they make nothing, right? Just follow the empty lane. Personally, I'm a big Legend of Zelda nerd. I just imagine there's a light arrow there, like fire arrow, ice arrow, light arrow. Just follow that empty lane, figure out what that square is going to be, and get force marched into that square. Okay, that's Bow 2. The other ones aren't as bad, don't worry. So Swords 2, how much time do you have to do all that? Like 7 seconds? It's pretty fast. You don't have a ton of time. So, okay. Swords 2 is the exact same as Swords 1. The only difference is that it is possible for you to have 3 or 4 of the same temperature. For example, you could have hot, cold 2. Hot and cold, Jesus. You could have hot 2 and elemental brand hot 2. So then you're actually like hot 4. So if you're wondering how the fuck do I fix hot 4, you get hit by the Ice 2 sword twice. So what that means is, because there's 2 sword swings, remember? So you find the safe spot, find the Ice 2 sword, move 1 cardinal square into the Ice 2 sword, get hit by it, and then you do it a second time on the second swing. Likewise, if you have 3 of the same type, you get hit by, the 2 sword and then the 1 sword. And if you just have 1 or 2, then you just do it like normal, right? Just get hit by 1 sword and then you're done. So swords 2 is actually relatively straightforward. The only difference is you can have 3 or 4 of the same temperature and you just need to pay attention to it. That's it for swords 2. And yes, my cat is on my lap. Her name's Iggy. She's my co-caller. I love her very much. And basically everyone here who's done DRS with me long enough knows that Iggy will always be in my lap. So there you go. Perfect example. So what kind of cat? She's a tortie. She's a very good cat. I love her very much. Okay. Last thing to talk through. Mine too? Yo, tortie's great. Hell yeah. Okay. Last one. Staff 2. Not too bad. Hot and cold. Elemental brand. Smush them together. Orbs are going to drop, just like last time, the meteors. We'll all start in the center. We'll heal through the damage that happens. You're going to find the meteor you need to get hit by. There's no force march this time. Those clone mines I mentioned, the line AoEs from the north and east, those are going to happen again. So you just run to the meteor you need to get hit by, find where the clones aren't going to hit, and then personally, I would recommend just jumping up and down to help people find the safe spot, and you just stand there and get hit by the meteor to fix your temperature. So again, you just avoid the clone mines, find the meteor you need to get hit by, jump up and down to help other people find it, hang out, get hit by it, you're done. That's it. Nice and easy. Okay, a couple things to remember. At the end of every weapon series is an additional bleed wide that hits very hard. You need to make sure you use Aether Shield and properly mitigate it and heal people. And I talked a lot. Are there any questions on Trinity Avowed? I'm genuinely so proud you guys got here on like a scuffed, non-all pure essence run. I just sincerely, you all have done a really great job tonight. So please don't feel bad if you die on Trinity Avowed. We're just here to learn this fight. We're not here to clear this fight. If we, by some act of God, clear Trinity Avowed on first pull, I will lose my fucking mind and be sincerely impressed. So just FYI, that'd be pretty cool. Now, with that said, everyone needs Shell, and tanks will definitely want Protect. So if you need Shell, come out to the right-hand side for me over here where I'm currently jumping. If you need Shell gamers, just come over here. And make sure if you're not me to go ahead and mute yourself on Discord just so you don't accidentally hot mic. Just friendly reminder there. If you need Protect, which is just my tanks go to the left-hand side, and we'll hook you up with Protect. So tanks left for Protect, everyone Shell for right, including tanks. Once you have Protect and Shell, feel free to just go back in the center. That way, the healers can easily find the other people to get hooked up. So once you got what you need, just go back towards the center. Again, tanks need Shell and Protect. Only Soraya needs their tank stance on, so make sure tanks, if you're not Soraya, your tank stance is off, but you will still move with Soraya for the shared tank. Okay, I got a couple tanks that still need Protect, so if we can just dish out, I see someone's at least dishing them out, so there's healers, a couple more tanks on the left-hand side that need Protect, please. Only tanks need Protect, though. You don't need to give them to the not actual tanks. Okay. All right. We're going to go forth and conquer. To those who are about to die, we salute you. You've done great. I love you all. Full countdown incoming. As a reminder, this fight starts with a shared tank buster. All tanks are going to go north of the boss. Make sure to eat food if your food fell off. Main tanks, make sure you have that Aether Shield slotted in, ready to go, because you're going to need that for all the raid wides. But you all have done great tonight. I hope whoever that was, that they're feeling better. You might want to go on mute, because we can hear you, just FYI. But here we go.
I'm gonna fucking kill myself.
It's okay. No, you're fine. It's fine. All tanks go north, please. All tanks go north. I promise you're fine. You're not the first. Shared tank buster. Coming out. All right. Raid wide mitigate. You're fine. Aether Shield mitigate. Aether Shield mitigate. Aether Shield mitigate. All right. Get ready to move, folks. Get ready to move. All right. Get away from the boss now. Get away from the boss. Outside of the boss's hitbox, nice and far. Back on the boss is fine now. Back on the boss is fine. We're going to go north or south. I'll tell you in just a second. Everyone go north. Everyone go north. Be on the free marker. Make it nice and easy for you. Be on the free marker. You don't have to go far, just north of the boss. Now everyone go south. Everyone go south. We're going to start with bow tonight. Remember pipe game? We're starting with pipe game tonight. Hell yeah. All right. Wait for it. All tanks report north for a shared tank buster. 07 comrades, I believe in you. Look at your force march direction. The shared tank buster is coming in 07, by the way. Have your force march direction. You get marched either to Delta or Bravo from the center column. Be in the center column to start. You get marched either Bravo or Delta. I'll tell you in just a second which one. But be in the center column to start. Get marched to Delta. Force march to Delta. Delta. Healers, if someone goofed, you can rescue them. Please rescue them. Healers rescue people if they get a re-raiser off. There are many bodies, so healers, if you see someone get rezzed, make sure to rescue them. Alright, look at your temperature. Look at your temperature. This is a normal pattern. If you're using Discord, this is a normal pattern. Find the arrow you need to get hit by. Move accordingly to get hit by that arrow. Go now. Go now. Heal on up. Heal on up. There'll be a raid wide shortly. Tanks, get ready. Welcome to Trinity Avowed. Aether Shield mitigate. Let the bodies hit the floor. This is pretty normal, by the way, so don't worry. Don't feel bad. Alright. Should be staff phase next, so get away from the boss. Melees can stay in until right now. Melees, get out. Everyone come to 3. Be in the smack center. It's just going to make this a lot easier if you do that. Healers, please heal everyone up, because they will be taking extensive damage. Feel free to mitigate this. It's going to come out in just a little bit. Look at your force march direction, look at your temperature. Look at your force march direction, look at your temperature. Think about what you need to get hit by to fix your temperature. You get force march from the center to what you need to get hit by. Healers, please apply regens and shields right now. And find the meteor you need. Get force march to it from the center. Don't walk to it. Get force march to it. Force march from the center. Looking good. All right. Back on the boss. Back on the boss. Healers, top people off. Tanks, get ready. Aether Shield mitigate. Aether Shield mitigate. Alright, she's looking at you, you're looking at them. It's a them, not she, sorry. But it's swords next, so they're looking at you, you're looking at her. Proper pronouns are important. There's 3 people, or at least there were. F's in chat to those people. Alright. They're going to go untargetable in about 15 seconds. If you want to do a little bit of extra damage, you got a little bit of time. Look at your temperature. As a reminder, I will tell you a safe square. To resolve your temperature, be 1 cardinal square away from the safe spot. Alright. The safe spot is 2. 2 is safe. Do not go to 4. You will instantly die. The safe spot is 3. 3 is safe, sorry. 3 is safe. Don't be on 1. Good job. All right. Hey, that's the first half of the fight done, and she's at 54%. One day I'll get that correct. Anyway, tanks, get ready. Aether Shield mitigate. Aether Shield mitigate. All right, we're gonna start with bow. The boss will reposition. You can go down to Charlie. Melees, feel free to stay up here if you want to for more uptime, but eventually get south. South of the boss now. South of the boss now. All right, bow 2. Get ready. This is the spookiest one in here. All right, clone lines are gonna come from the north and east. You need to dodge the clone lines and line AoEs first. Inner cardinals, close intercardinals are safe. Pop sprint. Get ready to go to Bravo. Run to Bravo now. Run to Bravo now. Run to Bravo now. All right, here comes your shopping list. Look at your temperature. You're gonna get an elemental brand. Look at your elemental brand with your temperature. Smush them together. That is your actual temperature. Don't look at the temperature gauge. It's lying to you. Now look at your force march direction. You're gonna need to get marched 2 squares into the proper one. Find what you need to get hit by. This is a normal pattern. Get force march 2 squares. Get force march 2 squares into the place you need to be. Good try. Well, welcome to Bow 2. It's the hardest thing in here. Alright. Aether Shield mitigate. If you're still alive, Aether Shield mitigate like your heart depends on it. Do the best you can. Alright, shared tank buster to the wall. Shared tank buster to the wall. Run, Soraya. Tanks to the wall. Tanks to the wall. Thank you. Sorry, Soraya. I didn't mean to bait you there. Alright. Get away from the boss. Get away from the boss. Melees will move out now. Healers do not limit break 3. Very bad things will happen. Alright. Look at your temperature. Come to the center, because this is staff, so you just want to be on 3. Look at your temperature, look at your elemental brands, smush them together. There's no force march here. You're gonna walk yourselves to your orbs. Get ready. You're gonna avoid the line AoEs on the orb you need to get hit by. Find the orb you need to get hit by. And enter cards again. Enter cards. Enter cards. Nice and easy. Healers, LB3, let your friends die a second time. Aether Shield mitigate. Aether Shield mitigate. Aether Shield mitigate. Alright, they're looking at you. You're looking at them. They're looking at you and you're looking at them. Nice and in front. Alright. Now again, Swords 2 is exactly the same as Swords 1. You just might have 3 or 4 of the same temperature, in which case then you just need to get hit by 2 swords, 1 at a time. Don't try to get hit by 2 swords at the same time, you will die. Check your actual temperature now, and then just do swords just like you did last time. I'll tell you the safe spots. Safe spot is 4. 4 is safe. Apologies for the delay. Don't be on 2. You still have another swing. You still have another swing. Safe spot is 2. 2 is safe. Don't be on 4. Alright. Heal on up. Back on the boss. I mean, you got to the end of the fight, gamers. I have good news for you there. You've seen everything. Aether Shield mitigate. Aether Shield mitigate. To those who are still alive, I salute you. Well done. We are regrettably turbo dead. I don't think we're doing 18% of his boss's health in the next 5 seconds. But I'm very impressed. If you want to go out on your own terms, you can walk into the firewall like a cool kid, by the way. That's a choice you have, just putting it out there. But enough of this mummery. We are doomed. Doomed, I say. Farewell, gamers. Well done. And we're dead. That was really good! We got to like 15% with like non-pure essence people on Trinity Avowed. That was really, really, really good. Alright. So, couple things. We can leave. First of all, you can hit the leave button, just FYI. So, it's really late at night. We already hit the thing we wanted to do. However, if people want to go a second time, we will definitely go over time. I just want to make that really clear. It will be very late. So I'm going to do a ready check. If people want to, cool, I'm down. But if a lot of people need to dip, which is completely fine, we'll just call it there. So just hit yes if you want to go. No if you need to dip. No it's late. Don't stress it. It's totally fine. Zero judgment there whatsoever. We already did the thing we came here to do. I'm over the moon that we did that well on our literal first pull. So, all right. I'm going to check my numbers here. Okay. I think we're just going to call it there. I could like maybe shuffle around, do like 5 parties and stuff, but like, that's a lot of work and it's already late. It's cool. We'll pause it there. But now don't leave yet because there's a couple housekeeping things I want to go over really quick. So first of all, everyone here who is a fresh progger is now eligible to sign up for a Trinity Avowed Plus progression run, and functionally speaking, that means you can also sign up for a clear attempt. That does mean you will need to study up on Trinity Avowed, and you'll want to study up on Stiglord, and you'll want to study up on Queen. Queen's not really that bad because that's mostly a caller fight, but you'll really want to understand what it is you're doing on Trinity Avowed by watching some VODs, asking questions here in chat, talking with people who've done it before. And Stiglord as well is mostly a tank fight, but again, like, you need to understand what you're doing. You want to do it properly so you don't die. All that good stuff. Now, you will here on CEM have the role for Trinity Avowed progression. It'll be automatically given to you. If you would like to go change the roles you get pinged on, you can go do that in the channel that gives you the roles and permissions pings for, you know, like a Queen run, Trinity Avowed run, etc. Zach, thank you for posting, because I'll update the roles right now. But basically, like I said, you're going to get this role automatically, so you're already eligible to join these runs whenever you want to. Okay, a couple other things really quick. Holy shit, that was fucking cool! We did our first poll! What the fuck? You guys have like random fucking essences in some places, and we just like did that. That was crazy. What the fuck? You're not supposed to do that. Like, that's not a thing that happens, so that was cool. I've legit never done that before, and I've run this like, I don't know, 300 plus times. Spite is a powerful motivator, I guess so. So fair play there.